Board is in open session, and from what I can see, we have no public input. But I did invite Callie Vidal to come to the meeting tonight if she wanted. And if it's okay with you guys, I'll ask her to sit at the table with us.
Yeah. Is Bridget coming tonight?
No,
Okay.
Bridget is at a seminar or something.
Oh, okay. No, I just thought that she might want to.
I think she's chatted with Bridget, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm sure
Sorry,
she's
yeah.
reached out to you, yeah.
So anyhow, the reason I asked Callie if she wanted to come to the meeting is there was an anonymous letter, and you saw the letter?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
I did.
I didn't view the letter as being overly vindictive or anything. I don't know what the motivation was.
Yeah.
And that's not our purview to begin
Right,
with.
exactly.
But the letter was written. Bridget did look into it. Bridget talked with Callie, and that's how the whole thing
Yeah,
happened.
we got to.
Just as a side note, my daughter from Copenhagen was here for a day last Thursday, and we were talking about this, and she says, "Oh yeah, Dad, I've seen that on Facebook." And I'm there, I don't go to Facebook, so I don't have a clue, but you're known in Copenhagen, so
Yeah.
That's
So anyhow, Bridget got in touch with you after she
Yes.
got the letter, and the board is here to help you continue with
Yeah,
your
no,
business if that's what
absolutely,
you
yeah.
want to do.
Yeah, that's 100% what I want
So-
to do.
There is state guidance, and there are other businesses in the town of Ayer that operate out of their homes.
Okay.
So you're not unique by any means.
Right.
But the requirement of the license and the town of Ayer, you'd have to get a permit as well.
Right.
We're here to say, how can we help you and what do you need from us
Okay.
to go forward?
Right.
In talking to Bridget, I guess there was some question about whether or not refrigerated produce could be used.
Yes.
And that, again, we would leave up to Bridget, and she was asking the state
Right.
what the requirements were on that.
Yeah, because obviously my main product is chocolate dipped strawberries.
Yeah.
So, and that obviously requires
Those
refrigeration.
have to be refrigerated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. Okay.
Other things don't, because I just like make Oreos, Rice Krispie treats, whatever people honestly request for
Sure.
me to dip. But like my main thing is obviously chocolate dipped strawberries. Like that's what I'm known for. So
Okay.
that's my only concern is the refrigeration part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have the guidance, the state guidance? Because I
Yeah,
can
I think
give you this.
I went on the website because she sent me the link and everything.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing.
Yeah.
And I guess I would say when you're ready to move forward with
Yeah.
it, just give Bridget a call. She'll do the inspection.
Right.
You'll have to go to the town clerk's office to get a permit to do it.
Okay.
And I understand your living situation, you'd have to speak with them. So that's, again,
Right.
nothing
yeah.
that
the condo association.
we're concerned with at all.
Yeah, so obviously I just had that one question about refrigeration, and then other than that, if that could be like amazing and that would be allowed, then everything would be amazing.
Yes.
And
Yeah, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
if you get this done between our meetings, it doesn't have to wait for our meeting to be approved.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
So
Right.
Bridget can check the boxes, and if I need to sign a permit, we can sign a permit between
Perfect.
meetings and then just bring it up here. But, we're not here to be punitive in any way.
Oh no, totally. I know. You guys
And
like, literally have been amazing. Bridget's been amazing. She's been like answering all my questions
She's
and sending me
good.
He's a
everything.
wealth
So
of knowledge. Yep.
She really is. Is the allergy training stuff pretty straightforward?
so
I think
I-
there were a lot of
yeah,
resources for that.
yeah, she sent me everything on that too. Everything
Okay.
looks pretty basic. Got to get surf safe, which
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
almost completed at Shop and Save anyways because I was the customer service manager over there. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so it wasn't even like
Okay,
a
okay.
big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good background.
Yeah.
So
Oh
you-
no, absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
other than that,
any questions?
You shouldn't have any trouble.
I wish you well.
yes, no, thank you.
Expedited, so
No, absolutely.
good.
Okay.
That's your side hustle.
Yeah, and then I work at
Besides time,
Tiny's.
too, I didn't My mom is a regular.
Honestly, I work at Tiny's a couple nights a week, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's like because I have a son, so I just stay at home and I do all those treats and everything.
Nice.
So it's perfect.
That's fantastic.
Good.
Yes,
And it looks like they're very popular.
they are. Yeah,
Having
Easter
great-
was a very
yeah, good
disappointment
customer
for
support.
everyone.
Yeah, that's
So hopefully I'll be up and running soon.
good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We'll make it.
So I'll just communicate with Bridget and then
Yeah.
hopefully go from there.
Just so you know, and I think I speak for the board, we don't communicate on or via Facebook or any other social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
platform.
yeah.
I personally view a lot of the information as incorrect,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we will not take the standard of responding to
Yeah,
that.
it's always one person's
Just-
opinion versus
Is
another.
anonymous letters is that rare?
No, well, it happens, but, you know,
Not so much for health stuff, really.
Am I
'cause-
allowed to see it?
I don't see why not. I mean,
It's anonymous.
I
how about if I read the letter? Because
Yeah. Can you read the letter?
yeah, I didn't read.
I wanna know what it
I didn't interpret the letter as being someone that
wanna
was
know.
out to
Yeah.
get you or anything. If you
Yeah.
guys are okay with me reading the letter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Neshoba Board of Health, 30 Central Avenue, Air, Mass. And it says, there is a woman running a strawberry dipping / candy business out of her condo in Ayer. She has a dog and a 1-year-old son. That can't be very sanitary. She promotes it on Facebook under Dip by Cal.
Yep.
It's not spelled right. Doesn't she need a permit to do them? Having to be refrigerated. The grammar is not that great.
Yeah, right.
All of our information is on Facebook page. Please look into this. People could get sick from this. And that was it. So,
Wow. They just must really know my life if they know about my son and my dog. That's the
well,
only thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's obviously someone
Yeah.
who knows that.
Yeah. No, other than that, I'm not.
and
no
it
hate. But
says thank
Yeah.
you. So,
going forward, I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna have everything the right way.
There you go.
like I
no one
said,
can do that.
That'll be good.
I
This will all
didn't,
be good.
100%.
This will be good.
I didn't view this as someone out to get somebody. That's not how I read it.
No, I don't think so either. And it is really just a
Nosy.
Just a little, but that's fine.
yeah.
Other than that, I'm moving forward. So yes, I'll be in communications with Bridget about everything, and then hopefully everything will be good.
Cool.
And if it's midweek or between meetings,
Yeah.
Steve can sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
And then
We can keep
Yeah.
it moving.
that will get that process started
Okay,
too. Okay.
perfect. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you guys really caring. It means a lot to me.
Oh, we do.
Especially a stay-at-home mom that really that was like. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great night.
It'll work.
too.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Littleton Line apartment complaint. I don't know if that's in here or not.
Was that like
A phone
straight to
It was a
Bridget
phone
housing
call.
Oh, it was?
inspection?
The
thing?
last
on-
page?
It's on the
Oh,
call log.
page 2 of the call
Oh,
log.
okay.
Yeah. Emmett Deck complained about rodents. He called about a complaint about rodents at the Littleton Line Apartments, and I forwarded the complaint to Bridget and Steve.
Yes, and the gentleman that made the complaint apparently complained to the landlord, but is also moving out of the apartment either the beginning or the end of May.
Oh, you did mention that.
And the landlord questioned, you still want me to look into it? And Bridget said, you absolutely need to look into it. So that's the last information I have.
Yeah, and I did talk to Bridget about this, was it last week? Yeah, he called that there was rodents. He did say when he called me that he was moving out, but he'd asked the landlord multiple times, hey, there's a rodent problem, can you please take care of this? And he goes, I'm moving out, I don't really care, but I don't want to, the next person
Yeah.
to deal with that.
okay.
And last time I talked to Bridget, she said that there was a date set for the exterminators to come, so.
Yeah, but it has been followed up on. And,
Yep.
Neshoba Valley Inn and Suites complaint. Is that a new one?
That's
Or is
the,
that the same one
this was on the.
previous?
For the last meeting, and because
Okay.
we didn't have it.
So that was a complaint that was multifaceted. Bridget did look into it. a lot of the issues were not health-related issues, they were employment-related issues. And the person was advised to go to the Department of Labor.
Yep.
But the Board of Health doesn't deal in employer
Yeah, exactly.
problems.
So, and when the person who originally called, she did have a couple employer complaints, and I was like, we really can't help with that. I understand, but we
Yeah.
can't help. And then it did get into, things weren't being cleaned and some of
Yeah.
the
Bridget did go
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
she followed up on that, and there was nothing to substantiate that things weren't being kept
So,
clean or proper, so.
Right.
So we'll continue to monitor it, but
Yeah,
that's about it.
exactly.
And then 10 East Main Street was another rodent complaint, and Bridget went by there and I went by there, and I think it was a written complaint.
That's in a
10,
packet too?
10 East Main Street, if you're going west on East Main, does that make sense?
Yep,
It's
Going
the
west on East Main.
Yeah,
It'd be on the
over here.
railroad track side, there's
Yeah.
like 3 buildings. And the last of the buildings, they're all residential,
Yeah.
is being completely rehabbed. It has been
Okay.
re-sided.
that one's 4.
That one's 4?
That's 4 East Main Street. 10
Okay.
East Main is the one that burnt a few years ago and they rebuilt.
Okay.
Oh, it's like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
Right
on
beside
the
it.
bridge.
Right beside.
Yeah.
Over the bridge, it's like,
Yeah.
Beside it.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
dumpster is in front of 4.
There's a dumpster there and there's a dumpster at 10.
Because the one, I saw the one at 4 today, and
recognize that?
yeah, I do actually. That was, yeah, I remember the apartment
Yeah.
building, yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember that because that's been here forever. That, it's an odd looking, looks like an elevator chute.
Yeah, yeah, it is strange. Yeah.
But anyhow, there's a dumpster there, and it's full of construction debris. It's not full of residential waste.
Yeah.
And Bridget went down, she said there was no signs of rodents on that property. And when I went down today, there's nothing I saw either, so we'll continue to monitor it.
Yep.
The dumpster, I'm sure, will get dumped
Yeah.
because it's full of the construction debris, so.
Okay.
I check every day, so I've never
Across
seen
the
any.
street.
You're in a good location.
I'm not quiet.
Under old business, the harm reduction program. So I had made a number of calls to Neshoba. I never got a response. I asked Sam if she would make some calls. Did you ever get a
I got
response?
nothing.
So I went up there today,
Oh,
and I found that the president was not there. He was off today, and the secretary or his administrative assistant, I guess, has been out sick or something. So whatever.
Okay,
But I left my name, and I was told I would get a call.
okay.
So if I get a call from them, I'll see if, from the show, Jenna, if Jenna's available, and we'll either do a joint call, just to explain what we're doing and see if there's any interest in
Yeah.
having
Yeah, yeah,
some participation.
yep. That sounds good.
Okay?
yeah?
Yeah.
That's all, I mean,
So we can-
I'm kind of disappointed, though, in terms of the lack
Yeah, I
of,
know.
you
Yeah.
know, of anyone, you know, calling back.
Yeah, it is a little.
Yeah.
But it kind of gets me like the dog that's got a hold of your,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to keep going. So,
Someone's got to answer eventually.
Great motivation.
don't ignore us.
Yeah.
17 Taft Street, we do have a response back. The person, Mrs. Maxon,
Yes.
is it Mrs. Maxon or Ms. Maxon? Ruth.
Ruth.
Through her attorney, I believe, responded that they will attend the May 8th meeting.
Yeah.
And I talked to Carly today to make sure that our town council was available, hopefully via Zoom,
Okay.
for that meeting. I guess my only question about that is, this is not about a personal situation and allowing anyone to attack someone at an open meeting personally.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be stood for. you know, if
No, I
that-
don't think so
if
either.
that's what happens.
It isn't the place for
I guess my question is, if Ruth wanted to have this in executive session, I guess she could request that. I don't know. It's really, it's about a license.
works. That's
Well, it's
interesting.
about a license, but if there was a chance of reputation or character being brought up, which I don't think that there is, you know,
Well,
could you
her-
request executive
and-
session?
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, her letter kind of crossed over into that, but I think we can have the discussion
Well, to,
independent of.
to me, the discussion is nothing more than a permit.
Right, exactly.
And
It's-
either you apply for it or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you choose not to,
Yeah.
then we take whatever action
Exactly.
is necessary under the law.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
But discussion about person or character or reputation, that,
yeah.
that should,
Suitability, experience, qualifications.
has nothing to do with this whatsoever.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I don't have anything from Bridget other than what we've talked about, so,
Okay.
for Neshoba. I do have an update from Neshoba, though. I did attend,
Oh, good.
and I didn't embarrass us this time because I kept
Last time either.
my computer muted, so,
You'll get used to that.
oh no,
After you
I
make
will
one
never,
mistake.
I will never get used to
I
this.
don't think anybody noticed except you, Steve. Really, there were no repercussions from that.
Well, so there was some significant stuff that happened at this meeting, and one of them was Littleton had a one-year extension. So the way this works, and you guys probably know this, but it was news to me, is that when you're a member of Neshoba Associated Board of Health, you're a member as a community that's been voted on by town meeting. And that falls under a specific state statute that says when you become a member of an association like Neshoba, you are bound to that association for 2 years. So you can go back to town meeting well, you have to, number one, they have to go to town meeting to revoke the decision to withdraw from Neshoba and approve another motion to rejoin. No, to
Or
rejoin.
to rejoin.
But it's been under 2 years, right? Because
No.
it happened at the meeting that I attended last year. I thought they were talking about it.
I thought that they gave their year's notice and that was
Yes.
up. And then,
That's what it
Okay.
was.
and then they asked for an extension and Neshoba allowed them to come back, not as a member of Neshoba, but more like a fee for service or
Oh, okay.
under the
okay.
same arrangements
That's
as being a
the
member.
extension.
That,
Yeah.
But that expires on June 30th of this year, this fiscal
okay,
year.
okay.
That's done.
Okay.
And they have no resources available after that. So if Neshoba said no, there would be no Board of Health or no public health entity in the town of Littleton. So apparently, from what I understand, the town manager just left in Littleton. There's an acting town manager or whatever the title is. The Board of Health has changed as well, and they were more or less pleading to come back. At the end of the day, after an hour and a half of discussing this, it was a 13-1 vote to allow them to come back. And Ayer was not the dissenting vote. If anything, I said, I don't see how, being a public health organization, we could say no to something like
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
It doesn't change the staffing. The staffing is already what's in place. It will add revenue to Neshoba for the time that they're here.
Yeah.
But the way this works is they have to, their annual town meeting is, I don't know, the first week in May or whatever. So they have to rescind and then vote to rejoin. And then they're obligated to Neshoba for 2 years.
2 years.
So if they do hire someone, they can give their notice again.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But back in the day when your mom and I were on the Board of Health, I'm not sure you were born back then, Trish, were you?
My mother was on in the, and she was on with Bob New
Yep,
in the,
in the 80s.
I don't know if it was the
Well,
80s.
when I was on, it was in the 80s. It was 81, 82.
You
Anyways.
and her mom were on at the same time?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't think she was on the same time as you.
Yeah, Yeah,
I know Bob New was.
we were on together for the high school thing. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm 99% sure of
Oh,
it.
wow. I didn't know that.
So anyhow, Westford used to be part of Neshoba as well. And Westford, well, when you look, these towns grow to a point that their services are probably greater. I think Neshoba was organized on mainly, these were all farming communities, and a lot of them still are.
Yeah.
When you look at
Yeah.
the ruralness of, Dunstable and Harvard and Stowe, and with 495 going through Westford, it changed the character of
Oh,
Westford
yeah,
dramatically.
that's true.
So,
Yeah.
they have their own health department, and, I guess my comments were that this could happen to other towns as well when they grow. If they outgrow
Yeah.
what Neshoba, other towns may choose to do it themselves.
And what was Littleton was adamant about leaving, so what was the turnaround factor for them to come
They can't-
that quick?
They can't
Yeah,
find
can't staff
anybody.
it, probably.
They can't staff.
Okay.
There's actually a lesson in this.
Yeah.
When people start talking about secession and,
Yeah?
from various things.
Yeah.
That's what you got to think
Have
about.
a
is
plan
how
B
do you replace
before,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, I don't know.
So anyhow, that was the big thing at this joint meeting. There was another issue regarding the Visiting Nurse Association, which I can mention to each of you individually offline.
Okay.
Nothing punitive or anything, just information.
Okay.
So that's my update on Neshoba, and I can't
All
wait for
right.
one of you to be the chairman again, and then you guys can do
Oh, you're
this.
in a hurry.
It's coming up soon there.
Well, all right.
So we got the call log.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really nothing. We discussed all the other complaints. Sarah was looking for the minutes for the public hearing we had on the 27th. However, she had called the day after we voted them, and I hadn't brought them downstairs yet. And I let her know they're coming. Don't worry.
Who is that wanted?
Sarah Withy.
Who's that?
She's a resident. Honestly, her complaint is she thinks their sign is ugly. She thinks their sign is ugly.
Whose sign?
Neshoba Inn and Suites.
That's building inspector business.
Exactly. And actually, he sort of went, that's not, what they make it look like is not.
Yeah.
So, but that's really the only thing. And then we had a woman call. She had a question about having a microblading business, which qualifies as body art. Neshoba takes care of that. I've tried to call her 4 times. Her voicemail is full. I will try again, but if she really, at that point, it's...
Yeah. If she really wants to know.
And I get calls like that frequently of...
Yeah.
They're quite often just looking for Neshoba. And I try and give them the contact info,
exactly.
but
Yeah.
that's it.
All right.
So the next item is the minutes.
I just have a question on something with the call log. It had to do with Ruth. What does this mean here? They request that Board of Health speak with Town Council prior to meeting.
That
So
was Ruth and her attorney.
they're requesting that we speak to Town
Yes,
Council
that was their request.
about what?
I thought that they wanted town council to be,
They were a little iffy on that, but they wanted us to confer with Town Council about whether or not our regulations mean she needs to have one because she's a farm.
Regulations were reviewed by, who is it, Attorney General? That reviews them when they're changed?
All right.
so I thought about that today, and I would rather have our town council speak to their council
And that's-
rather than,
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to go through, and if our council can speak to their council prior to the meeting, that to me would be the more efficient way of doing it than,
And it definitely came off, his request definitely sounded like, how can we make
Yeah.
this without making it a bigger mess? And, because he was the one who came to the last meeting that they were at as well, and
Yeah.
he,
So all of that stuff really hinges on this farm thing, which is not in the current reg. So one thing we might want to do is, I seem to recall, and Trish, you might remember, I think we had that revised regulation go back to the Attorney General for review, even though it wasn't a new regulation. It was a revised one. I think we did that with like the big ones like smoking and
Yeah.
and this
Yeah, we
one.
did.
So might want to just see what's in the file for that. Do we have, a record of the, sure we do, we must, of Attorney General saying, yeah, this is
I
this
will
is
do
good.
some digging. I have a file on regulations. I'll see
Okay.
what ended up in there.
Okay.
But if you talk to Carly, I would rather have I don't think council really needs to be here at the, present for the meeting, but
But if they could
let them
discuss.
speak
Yeah.
the two. And then if there's anything we need to talk about, we can do that, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a meeting with her tomorrow, so I'll add that to my list.
Okay. Minutes? The only question I have on the minutes is, I don't know if I suggested shop and save. Maybe I did, but I don't remember doing that.
It's,
So I would like just to strike. How about, it was suggested, and take my name off of there.
okay,
Okay?
that's
I
fine.
just don't remember
yeah.
suggesting,
Okay.
I might have been thinking there are parking lots, but I'm not sure I
think that
suggested
was-
it.
Yeah.
It was suggested, unless you guys want to take credit for that.
No, I know we were thinking along the lines of a
Yeah,
place
I mean, it
that
came
was
up.
large
I don't
enough
remember.
to,
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't remember exactly.
I can change it. Let's see.
And just, I guess because knowing the meeting that's coming up, this, about the farm, I stated that the owner claims her property is a farm, but no evidence has been presented otherwise. And the other thing is that the current regulation does not exempt
Okay.
farms.
that's on,
I've lost my spot. Where am I?
I think, this is on page 1, so it's like this, old business stuff.
Old
Let me
business.
see. Oh, wait, these are the February 27th minutes. What am I doing? Where are my current minutes? Oh, I'm mixing up your paper clips and my paper clips.
I was gonna say, I
All
thought we
right.
took care of
Let's go
that.
back to this again. Yeah, because
I thought we took care of that.
I did too. Because there was something else on here too. Oh, I asked that it not be hosted near a place that children frequently visit. That
That's
sounds so unlike me, but I may have.
we did discuss that.
We did discuss it being a
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be. So
It might have been.
I'll take ownership.
It might have been a question from you when we talked about Kitty Depot, or, I mean, the church.
Yeah, I think it
parking lot.
was more kind of more of a question.
It was
but-
just more of. It was more that it was asked to not
Yeah,
be in a place
yeah.
where children
Right.
frequent.
Right.
Yeah, I'll stand with that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can always.
Now that I'm on the right week, I think we're,
It's fine.
yeah, because I'm looking through this going, wait a minute, where's the thing where I was concerned about the children? Uncharacteristically so. Oh, jeez. All right, it's the right week.
It's okay.
Is there a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
I'll make a motion to accept the March 13th minutes of the Board of Health meeting, the amended version.
I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded to accept the amended minutes of March the 13th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So here's a crazy question. Now do we have to vote on the minutes? Because we accepted the
You said
Amended.
as amended, so we don't have to do anything.
Yeah, so they're okay.
Okay. So I'll give you this copy. I just scratched my name off on there.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
initialed it, so. It's the 10th, right?
yes.
That takes care of that.
I will take those.
We have any bills or administrative matters?
Not really. I received 2 pieces of mail that are really not a whole lot of exciting. There was a spill. We got notified of a spill
was
at
that?
Pine Knoll Mobile Homes.
What kind of spill?
Just says a spill. Home heating oil.
Heating oil.
Does it say how much?
No, No.
Where's Pine Knoll?
Live in Groton School Road.
Yeah.
You
Was the
can
fire,
read it. It doesn't.
is the fire department listed on there as notification?
Robert was notified.
Make sure the fire department knows about that. Get a copy of that to the fire chief
I can do that.
because they're responsible.
It's hazmat.
Hazmat, yeah.
What was the date of the spill, Sam?
March 15th.
I imagine they probably already know about it,
Yeah,
but
they must.
Yeah, I'll let them know.
in the advent that they didn't,
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll make a copy and put it in their thing.
Okay.
Yeah, this is dated March 15th,
or
so
if you see Lieutenant Bozak, just give it to him. I mean, or-
I see him most mornings, so. And then we got, this is from Pan Am Railways. They will be spraying along the tracks.
Spraying.
The defoliant
Herbicide.
stuff,
Herbicides.
yeah, herbicide.
So I will put it in the file.
I'm surprised I'm not glowing because we picked those raspberries and blackberries.
Oh, yeah,
Railroad tracks, right, Steve?
Yeah.
They used to grow wild.
all the time.
yeah. Well, as long as we're on the railroad, was there any Board of Health stuff associated with the
No.
train that tipped over? And how does a train tip over when it's standing still?
So that track actually leans towards that direction. If you've ever watched cars when they're parked there, they
Yeah.
lean a little bit to the right. And Sharon was actually going over the bridge and she thinks she saw the thing actually tip over.
Happen? Oh,
No
geez.
kidding.
She said, she told me, said, a couple cars
me.
just fell over. And then she had to go to the fire station for something. And they were just responding to the train
There you go.
derailment. So
And how did the railroad not know about this?
I think they did. Yeah, I think as soon as the cars fell off, they.
No, I mean, how did they not, if it was leaning to begin with?
So
was
those-
this subsidence under the tracks?
It's actually a side track. It's not a main track. It's,
Okay.
So it's where they park. You and I know this because we live up there. So.
Yeah,
I said that
yeah.
to Steve. If you stand in front of my old house and you look towards St. Mary's,
Goes that
you
way.
can see it go like that. And it was like that 50 years ago.
You're way down at the end of Scully? Is that where your house
We were on the split entry house that faces the tracks, literally on the other side of the tracks.
Okay, got it.
So anyhow, these cars were tall and maybe
Yeah.
top.
Yeah, they were double
top heavy.
stacked or something. Okay.
And my understanding, it was the trash that comes from the place on Devons.
Oh,
Okay.
So Devons has a trash and not just trash, but
the recycling?
recycling place.
Okay.
I thought they were empty.
No.
There was a lot of debris from that? I didn't know.
That's, again, I'm not positive on this, but that's what I had heard, that, and they put the stuff on train cars and take it out of town or out of the area.
Yeah, I knew that, but I
And they're
didn't
like,
know that these were full, like, to the brim.
I don't, Trish, I don't know, you know,
Because when we were watching the news and you're looking, I didn't see a lot of, like, I expected to see, like, all this stuff
Yeah.
on the ground.
my impression of the whole thing was much to do about nothing. There was a derailment that happened in Maine that was far more severe than
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But the whole thing was because of what happened in East Palestine,
Right.
Ohio.
Yeah.
That
So
was,
Yeah.
so
Always
they were
good.
just piling on with the news. That was,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
really it was, any other time, it wouldn't
right.
be significant. But every news
Yeah. it's
agency had
timing.
their helicopters flying over, and it was like, this is crazy. But anyhow, yeah, we were notified, and
Yeah.
Bridget called me that morning and said, "Are you aware?" And I said, "I am, and there's no hazardous materials on the train." So
You know how I became aware? Open the Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal, really?
Air Mass?
Well, it was Norfolk
Unbelievable.
Southern, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
Yep.
that's why it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little picture of it, a little
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, I have to read this in the Wall Street.
But it was
I'm so out of
much,
touch.
much to do about nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I assumed if it was hazardous stuff, there would have been a much bigger flap
Yep.
about it, but okay. All right,
Anything else?
No.
that's it.
I think we should go into executive session just to talk about an upcoming meeting on the 26th of April.
Okay.
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 If there's no other business in the open session, Barry? We are adjourning. Is there a motion to adjourn to go into executive session and coming out of executive session just to adjourn?
Yes, so moved.
I second that.
Second. A motion's been made and seconded to go into executive session. And at the end of the executive session, the board will adjourn for the evening. All those in favor, Ms. Papineau?
Aye.
Ms. Peters?
Aye.
Mr. Slarski? Aye.